Hey everybody, how you doing? Mikey's here. Oh, going for a walk this morning. It's going to be a beautiful day. It's a little foggy outside, as you can see. Once the fog burns off, the sun will come out. It'll be nice and warm today. So, figured I'd go out and get us some fresh air before I have to start doing all the honeydews and all that fun stuff. Today, as I'm walking, finishing off my tin of Skull Bandits Wintergreen. Tossed a couple of them in as I walk around town. Figured I'd show you guys a little bit about my little town here. First stop, we are at the Kous County Logging Museum with said large logger statue. Now this is an unusual building. This was originally built by some Mormons back in the day. And they wanted to build a pseudo replica of a Mormon temple. Well, they built it. And as you can see, it's got the nice architecture there. Interesting design, nice and rounded building. They wanted it to be acoustically pleasing. And what they did is they turned it into an acoustical nightmare. You can be inside here and you can be sitting next to somebody and you can't really hear a word they're saying. And yet there's another person on the other side of the room talking in a whisper and you can hear them plain as day. It's a little bizarre. But yeah, they got logging implements, pulleys and such around. If it was open, I'd go inside and show you, but it's 7 in the morning right now, so they're all closed up. But yeah, interesting little building. Kind of hard to miss here in town. Just a little town. There's only 2,500 people who live here. Spitting on the sidewalk like a fiend. There's some other logging implements. Good gosh, there's a little cat here. There you go. Let you read the sign. There you go. Glade Cruson. I remember him. Interesting old fella. Some more logging implements, and they actually installed a little bicycle repair station. And see, in a little town, we can leave those tools out like that and nobody steals them. Go figure. Heading into downtown. I'll put it on pause for a minute till I get there. Because right now there's not a whole lot worth showing off. Except for the fog and the myrtlewood trees. That's a myrtlewood tree right there. Indigenous to the Holy Land, Israel, Lebanon, and such. And the Pacific Northwest. Namely, Southern Oregon. They grow all over around here. Let me pause this for a moment. Okay, folks, we're approaching downtown Myrtle Point, Oregon. So exciting. So exciting, I'm going to show you. I'm standing in the middle of the street at 7 in the morning. And look, that way is pretty dull. Over here, you got Highway 42 right over there at the stoplight. And that's pretty much our bustling traffic for the day. Yeah. Good old auto parts store. Every town's got to have an auto parts store. And of course, every town has to have a bar and grill. Guy I went to high school with owns that place now, Charles. So, yeah, if you're ever in Myrtle Point, stop by Spruce Street Bar and Grill. They got pretty good pizza, and their burgers aren't bad either. Continuing to walk down to the metropolis. Back in the day, this was the bustling place there where most of the shops were open. People, there was a clothing store, there was a couple of hardware stores, a sporting goods store, stuff like that. Nowadays, a couple of antique whatnot type shops. There's a florist across the street. They've been there forever. But other than that, yeah, it's kind of died off. We have 2 hardware stores in town. Yeah. 2,500 people and we have 2 hardware stores. Go figure. So, that's life in a small town. And Schroeder's Furniture and Appliance. They're not really there anymore. That sign's just up for nostalgia. But yeah, this town's kind of seen some hard times. Starting to spring back a little bit though. I'm on the city council, and in the last 3 months, we have had 3 applications for liquor licenses. People are opening up eateries here again, which is kind of good to see. Because we have the bar and grill. We have a little cafe over there. Some people open up a little pizza place, take and bake, or buy by the slice type of pizza. They do really good business with the high schoolers at lunchtime. And there's a nice little Mexican restaurant over by the post office. It's very small, but they make really good food. Really good food. This building here used to be the bank back in the day. Anymore, I'm not sure who's using it for what. I believe somebody's living there. But hey, somebody's coming. We have traffic. Can you believe it? Traffic. And here's a little print shop. They do some printing every now and then. Very small. A little wet knot shop. Antiques and stuff. I go in there, find stuff to sell on eBay from time to time. There's another one. This place is pretty cool. They got some nice stuff in there every now and then. Here's the Ace Hardware in this town. They're not open yet. Slackers. A bunch of slackers. Yeah, my good friend Amy manages that store now. I hired her over in the Kous Bay location, trained her all up, and then she left us to come run the store. But she does good. And she is proof that there are beautiful women in Myrtle Point. I'm old enough to be her dad. She calls me her foster father. But yeah, she's a rather beautiful woman. Don't worry, guys, she's taken. And our second hardware store getting ready to open. Don't you like that old facade? The old school building's been there forever. I'm going to pause again so I get a little further down the street. And of course, every store has to have a liquor store. Every town, liquor store. Very small liquor store. Maybe 1,000 square feet, if that. More like 800, 900 square feet. Where they cram in as much booze as they can to keep everybody in a good mood. There goes one of the local farmers running on by. One thing I really want to show you guys over here is our Veterans Memorial. Now this is really cool. Town of 2,500 people. Look at all those names of people who have served and died for their country, including guys down here on the benches. It's a good place to come and just remember, have the names up here, and you got more names down here on the bricks. And there's quite a few of them. World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam. And we also have a couple of guys who gave their lives in Iraq. Dean Bright. I went to school with him. But yeah, quite a few guys here. And some of these names, I may not know the names of these individuals, but I know the family names. Some of these families have been here for quite some time. They're descendants of some of the original pioneers in the area. So, Darwin Goldstrom, I knew his son and his grandson, so I went to school with his grandkids. But yeah, there's quite a few here. Quite a few. And they even have a corner down here for some of our military dogs. Anyway, neat little corner to the park here. And then we have Catholic Church, and over there we have a park. And I'm going to turn around and head back the other side of the street. Be right back. And like most small towns, you have parts of town well kept, looking nice, and then we have other parts of town right across the street, a little ramshackled and run down. This is actually the museum here in town. It's not open very often. Lack of volunteers and stuff like that. General lack of funding, but every now and then they're open. The logging museum is open quite a bit. And this town is also home to the Kous County Fair. So for the last week in July every year, or third week in July every year, this town explodes. There's thousands of people here, and they all come for the fair. Yeah, we got 3 cars coming down Spruce Street right now. Our main street is called Spruce Street. So, 3 cars. It's a virtual traffic jam in this town. But yeah, all in all, quaint little town en route to nowhere. We even have a newspaper. My sister used to work for them back in the day. They used to come out daily, now they only come out once a week. Anyway. And here we have the Firehouse. Right behind me there. We have full-time fire and police in this little town, which is kind of rare for this town, but we make sure our budget allows for that. And we apply for federal grants when we can to get the funding. And it really pays off in spades, big time. These guys put in a lot of work. We got a few full-time guys, and we got quite a few volunteers that help out whenever something big happens. So, yeah. Willie, our fire chief, stand-up guy. You could have the most stressful situation you can throw at him, and he's as cool as a cucumber. Honestly, he should be working in a bigger city. He knows his stuff that well. But he grew up here. He loves it here. He has no intention of going anywhere. Have a nice church there behind us. City Hall is right there. And right across the street from City Hall is our public library. And Miss Amy, another Amy, not the one who runs the hardware store. She's our library director. She does a really good job. For a small town such as this, she really does a lot of community events, keeps the kids interested. She holds events at that library, and they get anywhere from 30 to 100 people show up to do stuff, so it's pretty cool. Anyway, life in a little town, all the pretty trees and the old houses. And this is the old Masonic Lodge, erected in 1910, originally chartered in 1883. So now it's pretty much just I think it's on the list of historic places. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys all go. I've been rambling on quite a while, showing you all our little town. Maybe get you another view up here. Up there on the hill, like I said, the fog is still rolling in, but once the fog burns off, it's going to be a beautiful, gorgeous, sunny day here in Myrtle Point, a little slice of heaven in Southern Oregon. And I'm walking around spitting on the sidewalk like a buffoon. Anyway, I'm going to stop off at the grocery store over here because my cat is out of cat food, and she's letting me know about it every 3 minutes when I'm at home. And they have their meat sale going on. They do a meat sale a couple times a month, and that's usually when I pick up some grub. I'm getting hungry, so Maybe I'll grab a small steak or something, have that for breakfast. Steak and eggs. Sounds pretty good today. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little tour of where I live. Nice big tree there. Ooh, look at the trees. Aren't they beautiful? And I've come full circle. We are back at the logging museum where it all started. That's a better shot of the logging museum there. Let's just see the architecture that they put into that. Like I said, it started off as a Mormon temple, but now it's a museum for our logging industry here in Southern Oregon. Oh, let me show you the doors while I'm at it before I sign off here. Local gentleman carved those for the logging museum. Those are made of myrtle wood, which is with that big tree right there. It's a myrtle wood tree. And that's what these doors are made of. It's very hard wood. Somewhat difficult to work with because of its hardness, but he did a really good job on that carving for the museum doors. Anyway, I must buy cat food and something to eat. I will catch you all later. I hope you enjoyed the slight tour of our little town, and I will catch you all again later. Take care. Bye.